That's scary.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Oh, what would you rather, the eyeball part or the standard sort of alien abduction anal probe story?
Inspired by the adventures of our nurses, therapists, and techs, A Beer with Atlas is the only healthcare traveling, craft beer drinking podcast. Each week, we'll open a few beers, talk about the brewery and the style of beer, and then dive into some research curated specifically for each episode. In the end, we hope each one sounds like a conversation you'd have with your friends while enjoying a few cold ones.
Welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
And I'm Brian.
As usual, on the tricorder over there, Mr. Dolan.
I'm here.
Hey, there he is.
I'm going to guarantee you one thing on this episode.
What?
Dolan will not like this beer.
Oh, I hope not.
Well, we
my
could
gosh.
say this beer's out of this world.
Whoa. Brought to us, let's see, this one came from a traveler as well, a certified surgical first assist. So CSFA, Shantelle Medlin is down in New Mexico right now. Colin Boakes is her recruiter.
Nice.
Her recruiter. Apologize. And I'm not even sure how this came about, but she sent us a huge care package, including this beer, Alien IPA, and an alien vodka.
Okay.
Like in an alien-shaped head bottle.
Well, I'm going to Colin's desk after this.
I know. He instantly gave us one of the beers and said, all the rest is mine. Get out of here.
Wow. Well, at least we got one.
We got one, yeah.
I mean, two would have been better.
Well.
One. We'll take it. We'll take one.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is, as much as last week I assumed last week was a West Coast IPA, this is, right? Am I right?
Oh, we'll see. Doesn't say anything about it.
There's
7%.
nothing. There's no coast in outer space. I'm just saying.
There's a coast on this beer, that's for sure. I expect...
Oh, yeah.
Did you smell it?
Yes.
It's-
I would wear this as cologne.
As hoppy, right, Dolan? As hoppy a
You might want a
smell.
little pour of that one.
Right.
To leave me some more.
Uh-huh.
Whatever.
This is Brian style, 100% all day long. Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Cannot wait. Alien IPA.
Right on their website, it says, get hop-ducted.
Hop-ducted. That's good. I like it.
Hop-ducted. Sierra Blanca Brewing Company is located at 1016 Industrial Road in Moriarty, New Mexico, right outside of Albuquerque.
I have been to Albuquerque.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've not.
Beautiful.
I've never been to New Mexico.
New Mexico was a blast.
Really?
When I was there. And it was just so different than what we're used to in the plains here, you know? And, the art scene there. Taos I've been to. Santa Fe. Oh, just gorgeous.
So back in the day, and even early days of Atlas, we did a ton in New Mexico. And that's just because Steve Ryan was the client manager, and he lived down there, so he understood the area.
Sure.
And could sell Taos and Santa Fe and Albuquerque those were always big. That was early on a big stronghold for us on the travel nursing front.
There's a lot of I think is it Renown?
Renown, yeah,
down there. There's a lot of breweries in New Mexico now too, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. So if you look on their website, this isn't just a gimmick for them. This alien thing just isn't a gimmick. I mean, that's part of the New Mexico thing with Area 51 and everything.
I wrote down the other beers.
Yeah.
Alien Amber Ale.
Yes.
The Alien Vanilla Stout. And the Alien Imperial Stout. And then this plain old Alien IPA, which this logo is pretty sweet. And it's kind of scary because it doesn't have the typical eyes, that hops for eyes.
Yeah.
But for some reason, that actually makes it scarier to me.
Could this be your tattoo?
It would be if I was not married, I'd have that tattoo. Because I like aliens and hops.
Gosh.
So put those together, pretty cool.
One of these days, we're going to get hop tattoos.
And then we're going to have to get our own apartment that we're going to live in together.
Let's record a daily episode.
Yeah.
What are Rich and Brian drinking today?
I don't know, but it's in their bachelor apartment that they're living in now. I mean, maybe it's worth it. I don't know. I'd have to really like that tattoo.
This place has been Sierra Blanca Brewing has won a number of Great American Beer Fest awards.
Just this last year, I saw they won one.
Their cherry wheat.
Yeah.
Which so I've had some cherry wheats over the years.
Sam Adams makes one.
Right? Okay, so hop in cherry wheat. They did their own cherry wheat. I want to try some of their other beers that they had here. Especially, I found I really like brown ales.
Yes.
A lot. They have one called Bone Chiller.
Which was a cool label. Did you see that?
Yes.
It's like riding on a skeleton horse.
And apparently that won some award too. Like
nice.
that was one of their award-winning beers. And then of course their green chili Cerveza.
I wrote that one down too because it's got what are those peppers called? Hatch chilies. That's right.
Yeah.
I
just had
the Hatch chilies.
one of the best Hatch chili beers in Scottsdale, Arizona at Fate Brewing Company. I'm telling you.
And where's ours?
They don't sell in cans.
That's not an acceptable answer.
In fact, they're rolling out their cans in 3 months. So I told my aunts that I'll send them some.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I'll send them some cross strain, and they send me some Fate.
I'm telling you,
that's an acceptable answer.
Hatch chilies are amazing.
Yes.
And you can't get them hardly. And they're only in season a short time. And I don't think I've ever had a Hatch chili beer. So
no, I want to try that.
We'll see what we can do.
The flavor of a Hatch chili is fantastic.
Super good, right?
I think it's better than any jalapeno beer that I've had. That's for sure.
That's bold statement.
It's tough words right there.
I'm telling you.
Guess we'll have to find out. Maybe we'll have to do a pepper beer episode.
Oh, that would be fun.
That would be a
for
blast.
you because you like hot shit.
I love hot shit.
Ooh, I'm not a fan.
There we go.
See. We'll find out.
All right, I gotta try this beer.
All right, let's get it.
Let's get after this. I want to go first because I want to see.
See if he spits it out.
Let's watch his face. Oh yeah.
Like you went to the spirit world there for a second.
Oh. I went to outer space.
Yeah, I want to get there.
It's not as strong until you breathe out.
Oh yeah, I drink that all day long.
Okay, so it's not as hoppy as I thought it would be.
It's only 80 IBUs. We're still 20 from the.
It should be
100.
like 110, right? I mean,
if it was, I wouldn't be mad.
Right. I thought this would be way over the top.
You get that hop burn at the end, though. Which
It's at the end.
Yeah, you call that the hop burn. Oh, it's so good. Sometimes beers are so IBU heavy or hop heavy, it tastes spicy. It's basically like a reflux thing, and it's so good.
It reminds me of some of the beers that Odell has done over the years.
Yeah. What was that? Double Standard or something like they made? Mercenary.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
Awesome.
Not his style, right?
You don't have to finish it.
Chills.
That's why we gave him the small pour.
I'll risk the COVID. You can pour it in here if you want.
So we talked a little bit about the brewery itself. They don't have a ton of information online, which I could find.
Yeah.
Outside of just like their beers and stuff like that. I did see they were featured on Food Nation with Bobby Flay.
Oh,
it's kind of interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did
they have
really
food
say
there?
Why. I didn't see.
Maybe they were. Yeah. Maybe he was just there for that Hatch chili beer.
Breweries, maybe. Yeah,
he's
maybe.
a like Tex-Mex Southern food chef, right? So
yeah,
maybe
definitely his style. Whoa, that third drink is very hoppy.
I can't wait. I'm only on drink one. Trying to save this stuff.
So
you can't buy beers like this anymore.
No,
it's very hard to find anything with IBUs.
Not like this. Not that has this bitterness to it.
You gotta make them.
And this is it.
So good.
As much as Brian always tries to find the music tie-in, I'm looking for the baseball one.
All right.
And I found it with this one.
Good, because I don't have any music tie-ins today.
So they contract brew for, as much as they brew their own beer.
Yep.
They also contract brew for Abbey Beverage and Rodeo Cold Brewing and Premier Beverage, which makes the Isotopes Amber, which is the official beer of the Albuquerque Isotopes.
Are they the Dodgers AAA team?
Nope, that's Oklahoma City.
Oh.
I did not look up who the Albuquerque Isotopes. Also has a
Isotopes.
Simpsons tie-in.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
That was the when the Isotopes were going to leave Springfield and move to Albuquerque, the AAA team.
Yeah.
Homer went on a hunger strike.
Yeah.
I think it was actually called Hungry Hungry Homer.
Uh-huh.
And chained himself to the baseball, to outside of the baseball field, to the flagpole, and was going hungry and grew like a beard and stuff. And they still moved the team to Albuquerque.
Well, yeah,
right,
as you would.
Yeah, but they were still called the Isotopes. And then shortly after that, the team in Albuquerque changed their name to the Isotopes
Because of the Simpsons?
Because of the Simpsons.
Awesome. And
I
it's
love
still
it.
the Isotopes.
And they're still the Isotopes. They would come here. You know, I'm gonna look it up because they're a Pacific Coast League team. So they would play the Storm Chasers.
Yeah, I've seen them in. I like their hat.
Mm-hmm.
It has the isotope looking thing on it. Mm-hmm. While you're doing that, what do I have? We talked about the beers. The town.
Okay.
The town. This is where I did my research. Because, there's an alien right on the label, right?
Right.
That's too easy.
Well, I hope you do some alien.
I mean, there's a little. But there's something that I was interested in. And when I found out the town, I was like, oh, snap.
Okay.
The town. Do you have your information?
I do. You want to go
let's
with
hear
yours?
it.
Okay, so the Isotopes are the AAA ball club of the Colorado Rockies. They play at the Rio Grande Federal Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I want to go back to see where
The
they
Rockies.
were.
That's cool.
They were affiliated with the Florida Marlins until 2008. Then from 2009 to 2014, you were correct. It was the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And then, then after that, they were affiliated with...
That's the weird thing about minor league teams is their affiliations can change so often. Here in Omaha, we've been with the Kansas City Royals basically the whole run, but that's not the case for most places.
Right.
So it's kind of
They
strange.
move around.
Yeah.
So I was only half right. In the episode Hungry Hungry Homer, which aired in March of 2001, Homer attempts to thwart the team's plans to move to Albuquerque by going on a hunger strike. It first appeared in Dancing Homer in season 2.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. So, so...
that was like 1990 or 91, Dancing Homer.
Yeah, it was 90.
Yeah.
Way early.
How old were you, Dolan?
I was not a thought. But I will tell you,
Oh, boy.
I have the first 8 seasons, original 8 seasons, box set collection
Yep.
in DVD.
I mean, for most fans, they will say that's kind of all you need. The first 8.
Pretty much.
So, team president Ken Young admitted that the team name came from the series. He said the name's unveiling. We picked it because over the years, it has become a popular name, and it does have something to do with Albuquerque.
It does.
The Isotope name was deemed appropriate since New Mexico has a number of well-known scientific and military facilities dealing with nuclear technology.
Like Area 51.
Oh,
We better watch ourselves.
we might. Dolan was actually going to storm Area 51
I don't doubt it.
when that came up.
I saw something online the other day. It said, y'all were ready to storm Area 51, but now you're so scared to go outside.
That's true.
It was over the weekend of my bachelor party. So we thought it was going to be a great idea.
Would have been a great idea.
Yeah, we
Should've
went
been.
to Power and Light instead.
So you stormed
Basically the
Power
same
and
thing.
Light.
So we're talking about Albuquerque,
Yeah.
and that's not where this beer's from.
No, just outside.
It's from Moriarty.
Moriarty.
1,200 people live in Moriarty.
That's not very big.
Do you know what the name Moriarty comes to mind for me? Sherlock Holmes.
There you go.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do. It's the arch enemy, right?
He was basically, posited as that.
His Joker to the Batman?
Yeah,
sort of?
except in that instance, the Joker's been around, right? He's in a lot of the stories.
Sure.
Moriarty really is in one story, and it's a short story.
Oh.
So his whole claim to fame is being like the antithesis of Sherlock comes from one short story. So we're going to delve into it a little bit.
He's the antithesis of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, he's like...
So he's just a dumb criminal?
Well, he's still smart, but he's using the smarts for bad purposes versus Sherlock to solve crimes and help people.
He uses the smarts for good reasons. Okay,
yes.
makes sense. Okay.
So basically, they say that he is a Machiavellian villain. And I said, okay, I know that term, mostly from Tupac, right, Dolan?
Tupac album, Dolan, did you?
Yeah, Machiavelli, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh,
What?
my God.
You got a list
You're
of homework
fired.
a mile long.
Yeah, you do. By the time we come back from this quarantine, you better be ready.
No kidding.
So what is a Machiavellian personality type? Well, it's someone who's really good at manipulating people, unemotional coldness, and basically indifferent to morality, so they don't care. There's nothing that's impressed upon them, only their own will. They're not going to do anything they don't want to do.
So Hans Gruber was a Machiavellian character, right?
Yes. So, and a lot of the ones that we know today, the best villains usually have those characteristics.
Okay.
Basically, he was a narrative designed plot device to kill Sherlock Holmes because Conan Doyle was kind of getting tired of writing the stories, and he was famous basically for those, even though he did write The Lost World, which is like basically about dinosaurs. That Michael Crichton then took that idea and kind of changed it up a little bit.
Wait. So Michael Crichton didn't come up with Jurassic Park? I mean, he did, but...
Yeah, this is basically the idea. The idea of Conan Doyle's version was like they went to this island that just magically somehow still had dinosaurs, and they did a exploration of it, right? So that was his idea.
My experience with Conan Doyle would be Conan. All the Conan work that he did. And then some of the Tarzan, too. Did you do Tarzan?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a Sherlock Holmes
I'm pretty
guy.
sure he did Conan, at least. So, and
Why? Because his name is Conan Doyle?
No, Conan the Destroyer.
I don't think so.
All right, you do this. I'm gonna look it up.
You do
I'm
that,
Gonna I'm gonna feel really dumb if that's
Sir
not the
Arthur
case.
Conan Doyle was around in like the 1860s. I'm guessing that those weren't around then, but we'll do a little research as I'm talking.
You talk and let me look this up because I'm gonna feel really dumb if that's the case.
Okay. Moriarty is in this story a very smart mathematician. He's also like a gang boss or like a mobster. So in the story, he basically provides protection for all the criminals in Europe for a cut of the cash and makes it so that they are basically not detected. And when Sherlock Holmes figures out some of these crimes that he's investigating throughout his series of books in newspaper stories where they were written, he decides that some of these are like themed. They're happening more than once, or they're not just singular events. There's a big plot behind these crimes, and that's what leads him to Moriarty. And shows up in that one story, which I think was, I wrote it down, 1893. The Adventure of the Final Problem was the name of it. And they do a battle. Basically, Sherlock Holmes finds out about Moriarty, claims he's going to stop him. Moriarty basically says, if you're smart enough to cause injury to me, then you can bet I will do the same to you. Chases Holmes, runs away, and Moriarty follows him across Europe, and they meet at this waterfall in Switzerland. And I wrote that down, I believe, too. I think I wrote it down. Did I write it down?
Switzerland.
Yeah, battle at Reichenbach Falls. It's in Switzerland, and they have this big fight, and they both fall over the falls. And that's supposed to be the end of Sherlock Holmes, which I think they did in a movie, the Robert Downey Jr. movie. Have you seen those? The Sherlock Holmes movies?
I have not, no.
Have you seen them, Dolan? No.
No.
I think Guy Ritchie directed them. They're pretty good.
Oh.
I've seen clips because I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is Sherlock, Jude Law is Watson. Pretty good flicks.
Seen the is it a Netflix series? The Sherlock?
I think it's on PBS.
Might be on PBS.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, that's a
Benedict
PBS show.
Cumberbatch. Okay.
So they have this big battle, and he falls off the cliff. They both fall, and we're supposed to think they died. But the character doesn't go away because it's his big money maker. And as people like to do, you don't want to kill off your main dude.
No.
It'd be like killing Harry Potter in version 2 or volume 2. So you don't do that. So he's still around for 20 more years. He's writing these stories. And that's the only other time he's really mentioned as Moriarty is in 1914 in this story called Valley of Fear, where Moriarty himself is being questioned by a police officer about this stolen painting. And Moriarty is claiming to be like this blue-collar worker, and he's talking about another painting by the same painter, and Holmes basically figures out if he was really who he said he was, he couldn't know about this painting because it's too rich and too fancy, and a regular Joe wouldn't know about this painting. And that story, while written 20 years earlier or later, is like a prequel to the time he shows up.
So he was racial profiling him? Is that social profiling?
Yeah, social, yeah.
There we
yeah.
go.
That's pretty much what Sherlock Holmes was all about, was like noticing details and extrapolating on those and figuring out behavioral patterns.
I figured out where my problem was.
What was it?
Edgar Rice Burroughs was Tarzan, right? Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. 3 names. That's where I got confused.
Yeah.
Literature.
Oh, man.
What can you do?
Well, you could get a degree in it like I have.
There we go.
Especially this sort of area of literature.
Please continue.
Watson, Dr. Watson, basically, if you know anything about Sherlock Holmes, it's the story of Sherlock Holmes, but it's being told by Watson. So they're his reflections. It's not Sherlock Holmes saying, I did this and we went here. It's Watson basically telling the story of what happened. Well, in these stories, Watson never meets Moriarty. He never comes face to face with him. When they talk about him in that story, he's like, oh, I've never even heard of him. But then 20 years later, when Doyle writes him into the story again, he forgets kind of what he wrote. So they don't line up exactly.
Interesting.
So now the character knows about him. The name itself is actually an Irish name, Moriarty. It's ancient Irish name, so it's been around a long time.
Wow.
And in this story, the first one in 1893, he's just known as Professor Moriarty. And then in 1914, they give him the name James, so he's Professor James Moriarty.
Oh.
And that was a pretty Irish name. He's based off, they think, 2 real people. So Conan Doyle would have known about these people at the time. One of them, and this guy was really interesting, his name was Adam Worth. And he was a German guy, born in Germany, immigrated to the United States with his parents as a kid when he was like 5 years old, and basically just became a criminal in 1850s, 1860s.
Okay.
So when he was 17, he lied about his age, said he was 18, enlisted in the Civil War in the Union Army, and then just took the money that he got and then deserted, and did that like a bunch of times.
Oh.
So just would like join up with different ranks and then get the money or pay or whatever, and then just bail and go somewhere else. And then they caught on to him and arrested him, but then he escaped, went to the big cities. It's harder to find him, and he basically became a criminal, what you would expect in the 1860s, pickpocket. He ran a ring of pickpocketers. He figured out how to open safes. He was a safe cracker.
Oh.
He did, what was the one other thing I wrote down? He robbed banks. He was doing like Wild West stuff on the East Coast, up and down. And then the cops figured him out, so he went back to Europe and went all across Europe and did this sort of stuff. He was basically known as like the biggest criminal of the time and a criminal mastermind, quote unquote. Nowadays, most crime is like computer crime and that sort of stuff, hacking and whatnot. But this is back when you actually had to show up and do your crimes. This is the guy. And then the other one that they think was probably partially used to come up with the idea for Moriarty was this guy named Simon Newcomb, who was a Canadian, basically math wizard. Like he understood math at a level that nobody really did at that time, and had all these math theories that have proven to be true, but nobody could really understand them back then, like 100 years ago, around 1900.
How do we know he was right then?
It's been proven, and I guess nowadays.
Okay.
He also was an astronomer, and he was a teacher of mathematics and astronomy for the United States Navy, and then at Johns Hopkins, which is a famous hospital.
Sure.
I think that's in Baltimore.
We staff a lot of nurses there right now,
Yeah.
actually.
And he's basically was just a super smart dude in a bunch of different areas. Like, so he was been like pre-Einstein, but somebody like that. Like everybody would have known this guy's name as being smart.
Well,
So they think that Conan Doyle would have known about him too, and took those characteristics and made him into the ultimate smart villain.
I like the first guy more.
Yeah, he's more hands-on.
Yeah.
He's the physical criminal part, and the other guy's the brain.
Yeah.
So that's where that comes from. How this ties in to Moriarty Town, which is interesting, I thought. They have these things back in the day. Oh, sorry. That was weird.
I can still hear you.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
I can't hear it. That sounds weird to me.
I
All
can
right.
hear now.
They have these things. It was called the Sherlockian Society. And basically, it's a fan club.
Okay.
They might even dress up in period clothes, but this is something pre-TV and radio, really. So if you like the books or the stories and the magazines, you would come together as a group and talk about them and have dinner, basically like a social event. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Comic-Con nowadays, right?
Sure.
But they've been having them for a long time. Mm-hmm. Well, there's one, and it was, I think, a worldwide one. Every year they have a dinner, and the group was called the Brothers 3 of Moriarty, because there was 3 brothers in the story.
Kind of rhymes.
It does. And the dinner, they would have a yearly dinner in Moriarty, New Mexico, because of the name of the town.
Of course they would.
Well, why is the town named Moriarty in New Mexico? That's a long way from England or Sherlock Holmes. Mm-hmm. Well, it just happened to be an Irish dude was the first permanent settler in Moriarty, New Mexico. Oh. His name was Michael Timothy Moriarty. So Irish tie-in to the story. Has nothing to do with Sherlock Holmes, but because of the name of the town, that is where this group would go and meet yearly and have these,
Isn't it interesting how, like, if you're the first dude to, like, settle in a town,
you
like,
get the name?
I'm going to name it.
Yeah. Could have come up with something better, but people weren't that, I don't know, imaginative in
no, right?
1880.
Well, I'm going to go to Moriarty. Why do you call it that? That's where...
That's my last name, and it's the only thing I know how to spell.
That's where Moriarty lives, right?
Yeah.
Why does it always go back to Jersey? Why is it always...
That's just how it starts. So that's my little speed bump of knowledge about Moriarty.
I kind of figured it might go that route. I'm still embarrassed about the Edgar Rice Burroughs.
It's okay.
Arthur Conan Doyle.
Boy, that beer is still good, guys. Still good.
Still hoppy.
Yeah.
Dolan finished his, though. Look at that.
Well, he did it like a shooter. He did like 2 chugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
3 drinks, and that was it.
Plug your nose, take your medicine.
Man, I'll take this medicine all day. So here's you ready for the alien stuff?
Oh,
I mean, there's so many ways to go.
Yep.
There's a lot of ways to go with alien stuff.
Area 51.
And I am a fan.
Alien movie.
Independence Day.
Dolan's kind of on it.
Alien versus Predator.
I basically just wrote down things, aliens in pop culture, mostly TV shows or movies.
Alf.
And I'll just rip through them and we'll talk about them.
Okay.
Invader Zim.
Don't know what that is.
What?
No. I don't
See,
know.
Dolan, different age.
Yeah. All right. So
We'll start pulling that on you guys.
I got you on Invaders.
Oh, okay.
I know that.
First one I thought of, this will show my age, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Totally.
Dolan's like, what's that?
What's that?
Drop the music in here from Close Encounters.
Right there. Yeah, see?
Yep.
They can't copyright us on that.
No,
right?
it's only like 5 notes.
Yeah.
And it's a really old melody from something.
Is it? It's
Yeah,
a
it's
thing
famous,
from
yeah.
somewhere? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
E.T.
Okay.
Elliot.
Phone Home. With the Reese's Pieces.
Right?
Holy crap. That's why I like Reese's Pieces, I'm pretty
you
sure.
know M&M's turned that down.
That was dumb.
dumb.
M&M's.
So dumb.
Thought they were so good.
And they went to Reese's. They're like, hell yes.
Of course we want to be in
Yes.
this movie.
Steven Spielberg? Are you kidding me? Yes.
He was the hottest director at the time.
Yep. M&M's turned it down.
Wow. And now they're stuck making brownie bite M&M's, which just came out recently,
Dumb.
by the way.
You know what Reese's Pieces don't have to do? Make stupid flavors.
No, they just have one. Delicious.
Yes.
How about this one? This is the first things I did was I just went in my brain and I thought, okay, what do I think of? Mm-hmm. So that's the first part, and then my second list is other ones.
Okay.
Fire in the Sky. I think we've talked about this one before.
That movie freaked me out.
Me too.
Yes.
Dolan should watch it. Mm-hmm. True quotes account of an alien abduction.
Scary.
Very scary. Had this, so unsettling. I mean, it's like they used the guy who was allegedly abducted by aliens. They used his book that he wrote.
Yep.
And then the screenwriter was like, this abduction is too boring. We need to spice it up for the movies. And that's what they
Yes.
did. And holy crap, is it scary. They do a thing where, I saw it recently, he's laying on the table.
Yeah.
And they put that like gel, sticky plastic stuff all over his face.
Yeah.
And he's screaming and you can see it, and then they cut it open so he can breathe a little. And then they stick that clamp in his mouth and pump him full of, oh my God. But the eyeball part,
The eyeball part.
That's the worst.
Yes.
it came out in 89. I was 11. I went to see that movie.
That's scary.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, what would you rather, the eyeball part or the standard sort of alien abduction anal probe story?
Well, the anal probe story is now just a joke. It's kind of like a trope in comedy.
Sure.
And like,
But let's say it actually existed.
I hate. Oh, give me the anal probe.
Right, exactly. Me
All
too.
day.
All day.
And twice on Sundays.
Don't jab a needle into my eye.
I can't even put in contacts. I'm not
No.
getting no alien eyeball probe. No,
Right.
thank you.
No.
X-Files.
Oh, yeah.
So you probably were an X-Files guy.
Loved X-Files.
Was it Friday nights? Sunday nights, wasn't it? Something like that.
It
for a while.
moved
Jumped
around.
all around.
It moved around.
Thursdays. Half the X-Files were like standalone episodes, and the other half was this big alien conspiracy story.
It would always come
story.
back to the aliens.
Yeah.
That abducted Mulder's sister and
and then implants and all that stuff.
I just think bare naked ladies when it comes to X-Files.
on X-Files. Watching X-Files with the lights on. You on
Like
some of
Donna
them.
Mason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I didn't think I'd hear about bare naked ladies.
You
today,
should really go back and watch some X-Files.
but, War of the Worlds, the radio show from like the 30s.
Right.
Like this thing, it's kind of the
I'm thinking of
coronavirus of the
World
30s,
at War.
It all comes back around.
doesn't it?
Right.
People were scared of this invasion.
Yep.
And it was so real on the radio, people thought it was really happening. Mm-hmm. And they didn't know until it was over that it was just a radio play.
Yeah.
And then they made a movie, and then they made a Tom Cruise movie of it 50 years later.
That's where they come out of the bottom of the city and those big.
It's unfortunate.
I don't know. I never saw it.
Never saw it.
Yeah. Watch the black and white one.
World at War, right? Is that what they?
War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alien.
Alien, the original.
Yeah. Ridley
Yes.
Scott movies, all those.
Yeah.
Starship Troopers.
So my brother loved that show.
Yeah.
He loved it.
That was the one that he watched probably was a remake version. It was like a version from the 60s.
Oh no, he watched the remake version. Like he ran that. So we both have history running movies in theaters, and so he ran Starship Troopers, and he loved it.
I bet.
Loved it.
You said him earlier. Alf.
Alf, alien life form. Alf
From Melmac.
Melmac.
Liked cats. To eat them. He wanted to eat cats.
He wanted to eat cats.
Coneheads.
Where did they say they were from?
I don't remember. I didn't write it down.
France.
Yeah, that's where they said they were from because French people are weird.
But they were really from.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Man, it was right there, and it disappeared.
It was literally before I was born, Dolan. That's how old this is. 77. Saturday Night Live.
It'll come to me. Keep going.
Then we get into some more recent ones. 10 Cloverfield Lane. I believe that's the John Goodman movie, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I kind of wanted to.
1, 2, and 3, right?
Cloverfield. Then
That's
10
on my
Cloverfield
list.
Lane.
Yep.
And then
What was the third one? It just came out though.
Yeah,
like
it just came out.
A couple
Oh,
years
really?
ago. Couple years ago.
I think 10 Cloverfield Lane just came out 2 years ago. There's also one called District 9. Are you thinking of that?
that was the weird one with the cat food, where the aliens ate the cat food.
No idea.
It was weird. It was almost too weird for its
Oh
time.
yeah, District 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and they were like robotic
Yep.
aliens.
The Coneheads were from Remulac.
There you go.
There you go.
Remulac.
See, I knew it was
Yeah.
there somewhere.
How about Signs?
Oh no, they weren't District 9, they weren't robotic.
No, they weren't robotic.
No, they weren't.
They
But
kind of looked
creepy.
like General Grievous from Attack of the Clones. They kind of had that look to him. So.
And then like the guy becomes friends with one of them. And, yeah.
Oh.
Weird movie.
It was
Movie.
different. It was way ahead of
Very-
its time,
yeah.
and that's probably why it didn't do well.
Signs?
So Signs freaked me out because my best friend in high school lived on a farm.
Yeah.
And you could see the barn. You could see their barn from his bedroom.
Nice.
And I would always make him close the blinds because I didn't want to. It freaked me out.
Oh.
It freaked me out. And now from my room at my house, we have. I call it a barn. It used to. It was like a 2-stall like horse barn, so I could see it from, and that freaks me out. You need to close
Yes.
that. Yeah, it freaks me
Oh,
out.
I like it. I did not know that about you.
Yeah.
That was a good one. It was one of the first Joaquin Phoenix movies I remember where he was really good in.
Yeah, where he was really good.
Yeah.
The part where he's wearing the tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
And he's watching, and he's Vamonos Children, and that's the most, like, if you're watching a movie, funny then scary kind of like snap between the two.
Yeah.
That is
What does he say when they tell him to? His name was Merrill, right?
swing away.
Swing away.
Yeah.
Here's another one I didn't see, probably on purpose. Cowboys and Aliens. Had Daniel Craig in it as like a cowboy.
I
And there's like
vaguely
a
remember
Western
this.
movie, and then all of a sudden the alien ship crashes in like 1880s or something.
It's fairly new, isn't it?
Yeah,
or there's
it's within
multiple
the last 10
versions.
years.
Or...
I don't remember who directed it. It was somebody I think Jon Favreau was actually involved.
Weird.
We can fact check that, but I think that's
Weird.
true. Here's another Stephen King one. He loves to either write about ghosts, monsters, or aliens. Dreamcatcher.
Never read it.
Terrible movie.
Yeah.
Terrible movie. Good cast. Terrible movie. Okay book. It is really, in theory, an alien story.
He's an alien, yeah.
Yeah. And there was another one, Tommyknockers. Probably the best one of his about aliens.
I loved that book.
The book was great.
Right.
I never saw the miniseries.
I never watched it either.
Earth Girls Are Easy. Jim Carrey,
Jim
right?
Carrey.
Like 88, I think that one came
Super
out.
early.
He is an alien.
Howard the Duck. Mm-hmm. Was that 86, 87?
Marvel
somewhere in there?
character, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
This movie I wanted to see, but I was kind of too scared to watch it. It's called The Fourth Kind.
Okay, I watched this.
Is it scary?
Terrifying.
Oh my God.
Because it looks real.
Yeah, that's the thing about aliens for me and alien abduction. It's the scariest thing I can imagine. Like if that's really real, which, whatever. I think that would be so terrifying. I would just die.
Outside of whether or not you believe that demons are real or whatever, which is a religious thing and who knows or whatever, like aliens that's a real thing.
Yeah, why
Like, that
not? Yeah.
It's super...
They come here and take you and
Right.
fuck you up.
Super closed-minded of us to think that we're the only ones here.
Oh, it's
right?
impossible.
And then they want to come here and what would we do? We'd want to experiment on them.
Yeah,
Our
study,
government's-
yeah.
Well, and they would
Right.
want to do the same things, right?
Right.
Like that's so. Stephen Hawking had a really cool bit about aliens. He basically said like, we're kind of idiots searching for life because we don't know what elements that they're exposed to that we don't have.
Right.
And it could be a source of energy bigger than anything that we know of. And basically, we would just be putting ourselves in a really bad position.
Right.
Yeah.
Arguably the smartest man that ever lived,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
just saying this. I'm going to take his word for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'll listen to some memes instead. Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I mean, it had aliens in it.
For what it wasn't a bad film. It was a fun kind of revisit to Indiana Jones.
It kind of was. It got the Russians involved,
Yep.
from what I remember. Kate Blanchett was in it.
Let's not forget what Indiana Jones was. I mean, he was a pulp character.
Yes.
Right? And so this
It
kind of
wasn't supposed to be an Oscar movie, right?
No.
We got kind of spoiled by the last one, I think, before that in the 80s.
Last Crusade was pretty fantastic.
Pretty great.
Right.
Yeah. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
Pulp classic.
Totally.
Kroll.
Yep.
You know about Kroll.
Oh, absolutely.
Species. You're of an age that you might know about
Oh my
Species.
gosh!
Yeah.
I
I bet
watched
Dolan
Species,
does.
yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you did.
That was
Few times.
weird.
Yeah.
What was the actress's name?
Natasha Henstridge, maybe?
I want to say that's right.
Was Natasha something?
So the poster, I remember it's because this was kind of in between. No, I think my dad ran this. It was a lenticular poster, so you would look at it from one side and it'd be the
Oh, it
girl, and then you
changed.
would turn,
And it was the thing?
and it was the monster.
Because she was kind of like in a cocoony, embryonic pose on the poster, like
Yeah.
kind of a human, but kind of an alien.
Badass.
Yeah, that was a series of movies that they ended up making.
Yeah.
Super 8,
Yes,
which kind of I feel like really made it possible for Stranger Things to exist.
100%.
Don't you think?
Yes.
Wasn't that a J.J. Abrams?
It was a JJ film.
Yeah.
Yes. It
That
was kind
dude
of
is great.
one of his first kind of breakout, like, I can do something different than.
And it was one of those first things where it was like kid driven with actual kid actors, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. I liked it. And then I saved this one for last just because it's funny. Mac and Me. Mac and Me.
Oh, yeah. So
That-
there's a few
Yes.
of them that I thought you were gonna name that you didn't.
Well, let's get it because I couldn't write them all. There's 1,000.
So I am number 4. That one. Have you heard of that one?
No.
No.
Okay. It's pretty good. It's about a guy who's number 4. I mean, there was a bunch of like aliens or whatever. Number 4. And then there was Paul.
Paul, I remember that.
I remember that too.
Yeah. Hancock. Wasn't he an alien? Will Smith, Hancock?
He was more superhero, wasn't he?
I don't know. Never
Right,
saw it.
but wasn't he like Superman, like from another
maybe.
planet?
Maybe.
And then what's the neighbors? The neighbors find out there's a bunch of aliens living in the grocery store, and they go and they.
Was this a Disney Channel movie?
No. It was a comedy movie. It was pretty recent. I'm gonna do some
My list. I tried to stay away from, for the most part, the comedies.
from the comedy.
You know what I thought might be on your list? You would remember Enemy Mine. Do you remember
No.
that science fiction movie where the I can't remember his name, crashes on the alien. He's an astronaut, crashes on the alien planet and meets another alien that crashes on the alien planet, and they learn to kind of coexist.
Weird.
The Watch. It's got Ben Stiller, Vince Vaughn,
see, I was
Jonah
out.
Hill.
No, I was out right at Ben
No,
Stiller.
never heard of it.
No? Oh, okay. That one is pretty good. And then there's obviously some animated ones like Home, and which was really good if you haven't seen Home. Monsters vs. Aliens.
I haven't seen that one.
And
Yep.
then of course everybody knows Men in Black, right?
Sure.
They're coming
I
out
kept
with a
that
new
off
one.
on
Yeah.
purpose. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a fan. I'm just not a Will Smith fan.
Really?
Yeah. Not at all. Except for I Am Legend.
I am.
I
That
like
was.
that one.
Yeah,
Have you seen The Pursuit of Happiness?
Nope.
decent.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
no.
loved that movie.
Yeah, not an alien film.
No.
No.
But Will Smith.
You keep your Will Smith and your mustard and your ranch. You keep all those things.
And apparently Dropkick Murphys too. I was really dismayed by your
Oh, yeah.
Facebook
Keep them.
memory today. That was
Okay, that's something I actually like. I didn't know.
He doesn't like them. Doesn't like Dropkick Murphys.
No.
That seems weird.
You can have that.
You like Mumford and Sons? I mean, totally different things, but
They're okay.
okay.
Okay. Enemy Mine, 1985. Lou Gossett Jr. and Dennis Quaid. So Lou Gossett Jr. was the alien, and Dennis Quaid was the astronaut, and they had to learn to kind of coexist on this other.
Oh, Dennis
planet.
Quaid. I was thinking Randy Quaid.
Not well, no, yeah,
Yeah.
because that would have been a comedy then.
That's
I
right. Yeah, I
think.
was like, what? Who? Oh, okay, gotcha. Dennis Quaid.
Enemies because they were taught to be aliens because they had to be brothers because they dared to be.
That's a great tagline.
85, baby. That's the 80s right there.
Oh, it's just those two names you said were 80s. What was,
man.
wasn't there a TV show? It was like a cop and he was an alien. Remember that? In the 80s? Alien Nation, maybe, or something like that?
Alien Nation, which was a great film.
Yeah, they made it into a TV show.
One of the best TV shows of all time, though. And I don't know if this might be just slightly past your time. V. Do you remember V?
No.
You don't?
No.
Where the visitors, V for visitors, they come to Earth. The visitors come to Earth.
Oh.
And they're like, hey, we're friends or whatever. And it
they're
turns out they're
not.
just like harvesting like humans
Oh,
for
yeah.
food.
Take our organs.
And you find out like underneath
I do
the
remember
skin,
that. Yeah.
they're lizards.
Yes.
Yeah. God, I loved V.
Was that a miniseries?
It was. There were two of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Mhm.
I do remember that.
So good. And there was a comic series to go with it. Oh, it was the
So
best.
what do you think it is about aliens? Because for real, the list I looked up today, I mean, there was like thousands of just movies, even
Yeah.
junk like direct-to-video movies or whatever, versus really good movies. Obviously, comic books are huge with aliens or someone from
sure.
a different planet, like Superman.
Superman
right?
is an alien, right?
Right?
He's from Krypton. I mean, an alien planet.
They had stories I found today going back to the 2nd century about men coming from other planets or the moon. That was like the main one because we could see it.
Sure.
But there was stories from 2nd century, 1600s about people going to the moon or coming back from the moon. What do you think it is about aliens that just is still around to this day? Very popular.
It's the unknown, right?
Yeah.
I think anything unknown people are fascinated by, right? That's why horror is a huge thing.
Ghosts.
Aliens, ghosts.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
I mean, that and death, right? Like all these alien movies somehow tie to death, and
Yeah, it usually goes bad.
you know, another unknown thing. So, just yeah.
I honestly think that's the same. There's enough stories here aliens have been here or whatever, firsthand accounts that are legit, right? I mean, the band, the Foo Fighters, right? The Foos were the things that they couldn't explain, like the gremlins or whatever.
UFOs, yeah.
Right, that came and would mess with airplanes. Like if you couldn't explain it, that's what it was.
Right, yeah.
Have you ever seen a UFO?
Well, I mean, everything in the sky to me is unidentified.
Yeah.
You need new glasses.
No.
I haven't either. I have never seen. I don't think.
I've seen like shooting stars and wondered if it was like a real shooting star because it didn't. It was weird, it's different.
moves
So
Yeah.
I had something very similar to that very recently, within the last month.
Whoa.
One night, it was like a Tuesday night. I took my dog out on a leash like I have done for the last 14 years before we were going to go to bed. And as I'm walking out the door, just something in my brain told me, like, look up in the sky. Where I live, where I live, by the stadium, you can see the stars. And
Sure.
the Big Dipper is almost always directly over my driveway.
There's not a whole lot of light pollution out where you
No.
live. Right.
So you can usually see the stars. And something told me, because usually I don't, I'm not usually paying attention. Something tells me, look up. Just look up in the sky, right? So I do. I'm standing there. And all of a sudden, I see this green flash shoot past me. And it was like less than a second. It caught the corner of my eye. I turned my head. I watched it streak. And then it was bright flash, gone. And it felt supernatural. It felt like I should not have seen that.
Oh.
I don't know what it was. It was something I'd never seen in my entire life. I'm 41. I have never seen anything. And it was like a primal. I was scared. I didn't know what it was. And I went inside, took the dog in, told my wife, I was like, I just saw something outside in the sky that I don't know what it was. And I looked out in the backyard. I thought something crashed, a plane crashed. Something happened because it was such a bright flash. Like something had to have happened. I looked in the neighborhood. I didn't see anything. So what do you do in 21st century? You go on Twitter. I pull up Twitter and I look. And people are saying, oh, did you see that meteor? Did you see the meteor? I just saw the meteor. I just saw the meteor. And the green color indicates a high iron content in the stone or the rock that's coming into the atmosphere. And that's why it made it look like a green streak. But only because other people were just talking about it, like on the police scanner Twitter account and stuff, that I actually know that's what I saw. But it was something I have never felt that way in my life. It was a deep fear, like a primal fear. Like, this is not normal, and I should be scared of this because I don't understand it.
Right.
And I think that's something that has something to do with alien stuff too. And I think the other side of it too is just whether it's like afterlife stuff, but we don't want to feel like this is it or we're alone and like this is all there is this earth and whatever. I think people want to feel like there's something else there. Now, whether or not that's up in the sky or that's a different planet or whatever.
In the ocean.
Atlantis down under the ocean.
Right. Yeah.
People just want something else to be there, I think. And that's, I think, one of the fascinations with aliens. We're talking 2,000 years almost.
So if you would rather have, what would you rather have? A like supernatural paranormal experience?
Oh, I've already had that, so.
Right?
Yeah.
Or this type of alien experience?
No, I don't want to ever see an alien. If I saw what they call a gray, which is just the gray, skinny, big black eye, oval eyes thing, if that was just like standing next to my bed, nah, I'm done.
No,
I'm
you'd
dead.
rather
die.
ghost over alien.
I've had the ghost. I'll take that again. I know what to expect with that kind of. I don't want no alien abduction.
I don't know. I'd rather have the alien. Yeah.
He would rather be probed.
I'd rather have a fighting chance.
Oh. Yeah, see, against
Yeah,
a
but
ghost,
I don't know if you can.
Would you have a fighting chance against a ghost?
I don't have a fighting chance. No, can't touch it.
I can punch an alien. I can't punch
maybe.
a ghost.
You haven't seen Fire in the Sky.
That's true. That is 100%
You
true.
can't move at all.
Right. And then they put that thing in your eye.
And pump all that stuff in your throat.
Blah.
Yeah, it's not
But
good.
here's the thing: like, if they're so unknown to us, right? Are we really that known to them?
Well, that's why people think they're coming to abduct you.
Well, it depends on how more advanced they are.
Right.
I think the assumption is they're more advanced because they're coming to us.
Mm-hmm.
They might be light years ahead of us, taking that long to come back.
Right.
Correct.
And you can think of it both ways, though, too. Like, there's still tribes on Earth who have not seen any sort of modern world.
Sure.
You know, right? And so maybe they're just like that on a different planet.
That's
somewhere.
very possible.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't know. I just think that like the physical being, I'd assume they can feel pain or something. So I'd punch them.
Either punch them out.
Punch an alien.
Can you? Yeah, I instantly go to like, can you find their throat, knees, or nuts? Right.
Those are good areas.
Those are good areas if you want to get away.
Probably throat.
Throat.
Because I don't know. You don't usually see joints.
Do they eat through their mouth though? You don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Here's
Here's
what
what
we don't want to have to find out.
No.
No.
Gosh. Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I think I'm maybe with Dolan. I think I might take aliens over ghosts.
I mean, back to Fire in the Sky. He basically quasi escapes. He wakes up. He gets out of the room.
Yeah.
He tries to get out of there. He finds the other pods full of decomposed people.
Yeah.
And then the aliens find out that he got out and grab him and take him back.
Yeah.
And that's when the bad shit happens.
And they do extra bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Give me a ghost of an old lady.
Yeah. If it's like a moderate ghost, I could see. Like Casper, your friend.
Sure.
Poltergeist? No, thank you.
Yeah, no thanks. Anything that like, there's a few things that I've
No.
witnessed that I can't explain, and like I don't know how people just like talk about it without. Like for me, like if I'm still freaked out thinking about it. Like it's something else. It was the wind. It was the semi driving by. Like.
But you'd rather know what was happening to you.
Oh yeah.
You'd rather be like, oh well, yeah,
Definitely.
I got abducted by an alien.
You know.
Okay.
Oh man, that's like when I got my tonsils out. Right. My biggest fear wasn't my tonsils being taken out. My biggest fear was going under, like them putting me to sleep and
Sure.
me not knowing what they're doing. Like I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's scary
guess.
either way.
It's the same reason why, like in a restaurant, like I sit in the back so I can see the whole restaurant.
I think you were probably just an old West gambler, or
Possible.
crime boss in the 20s in Chicago.
Right. So this is your next life.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Aliens.
So if you're anywhere close to Moriarty, TripAdvisor doesn't have many reviews.
1,200
on this place.
people in the town.
Yeah. So they got 11 reviews.
I'm surprised they have a brewery
I kind
that's
of
been
am
open
too.
for 20-something years.
And if you look, it looks like kind of on the side of the road kind of place.
Yeah. And they had all sorts of different styles of beer, too.
Tons of styles.
They had something for everybody.
Yep.
Wheat, brown, stout, IPA. They even had a sour, like a barrel-aged sour I saw. Yeah.
I still want to try that Bone Chiller brown ale. That's So TripAdvisor, 11 reviews. Okay, that's not terrible.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, for that something this small, but it's a 5 out of 5. All 11
Yeah.
of them have said this is a 5 out of 5.
Well, and their beers are winning awards at the biggest beer festivals in America, so
Yeah.
there's got to be something to that.
Untapped, 407 check-ins on this beer.
Holy cow, that's small.
Small. What do you think? Dolan's going to rank it low because not his style.
Yeah, if I were to rank this, I would put it 2.75, 3.
No, that's not. That's not bad.
I'm trying to be fair because I know it's not my style, but it wasn't necessarily, spit it out.
I can't imagine that there's a lot of locals on Untapped in Moriarty, New Mexico. That's just me. 'Cause
No,
it's so small,
right.
just a small.
Yep.
But on the flip side of that, they've had a open brewery for 25 years.
Yep.
This has been probably their standard IPA since they were open. I bet you they
Yes.
haven't changed a whole lot of it.
Yep.
I'm talking myself into a 3.68 on Untapped.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I would have said a 3.6.
3.67.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Close. So
close.
Wow.
That's been like 4 out of 5. I've been close.
Right?
I've had a pretty good run.
Yeah. And I even drilled down on this, like, so, the bottles versus tasters, what you can get, or whatever. And it really is kind of kind of the same. Really, really the same.
Yeah.
On, it's anywhere between a 4 and a 3.5, which would land us on that
Yeah.
3.67.
They had some cool merchandise too.
Yeah, they did.
Some of their T-shirts were so cool with the alien logo. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you again. I not only to to Colin Boakes, Chantelle's recruiter, but to Shantelle herself, this was a fun sort of like I had to move the schedule around to get this one in because I was excited when it came in, just from the looks of the label.
Just the label and the style. Like this isn't a style that is really readily available anymore. Hopefully we get back to this eventually. We're kind of heading that way now.
Well,
Brewers are starting to crank up the IBUs again a little bit.
A little bit. We've gone one way, and now we're swinging the other.
Back the other.
Summer's coming, so I'm kind of hoping for some more brute IPAs to come along, but I don't know. We'll
keep
see.
those.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the brute IPA.
Right? It's a summer brew. It's a summer IPA, right? It's a summer
They're
style.
all summer IPAs.
I don't know if I'm crushing these by the pool.
No.
Good.
Yeah,
you just fall asleep and get a sunburn.
No. I might have to chase it with a Mars bar.
Oh, I see what you did.
Yeah, see what I did there?
Aliens.
Wow.
All right. Well, as out of this world as this beer was. You like that?
Hey, pew.
Yep.
We're not going anywhere for a while.
Let's have another beer.
Thank you for listening to A Beer with Atlas. Special thanks to our brand team for producing the show. Each episode of A Beer with Atlas is powered by Atlas MedStaff, an industry leader in travel healthcare staffing.